1000万 MLB 翻訳侍戦士チャンネルへようこそ。今日の試合では、カブスが攻撃陣の爆発的な活躍で大勝を収めました。注目の投手が再び素晴らしい投球を見せ、チームを勝利に導きます。さらに、守備の要である選手が打撃でも大活躍。今回はこちらを詳しく解説している番組をご紹介いたします。ご意見やご感想などありましたら、ぜひコメント欄までお願いします。この動画が面白いと思っていただけましたら、チャンネル登録と高評価をお願いします。それではご覧ください。
Dominant display on offense. Pull up a chair. You know the deal. This is Cubs Postgame Live. Welcome into our Circus Sports Illinois studios. I'm Cole Wright. There he is, four-time World Series champion Joe Girardi. And Joe, for the Cubs to go out there and get this win tonight in front of the home crowd. And like JD said before they threw to us, it was really over very early, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was over after 4 innings. It was 9-2 after 4 innings, and Shota just kind of took over. But these are the kind of wins that they're going to need because it's a night where you don't have to use the back end of your bullpen.
Yep.
And by chasing a couple teams in the Mets and the Braves, you might have to use them in games that you're losing 3-2 late, where early in the season you might not do that. So these laughers are really important for the Cubs so they can save those back-end guys.
Yeah, you're going to need the Mets and the Braves to provide just a little bit of help if you want to cling to that shred of playoff hope. And Mets, they came away with the W. Starling Marte, no stranger to the weight room, and he put the ball in play. And the Mets, they walked it off, smiling from ear to ear in Queens. Who knows how things are going to shake out, but Dodgers, they put a number on those Braves, and that number, 9-0. Here's the updated standings as they currently sit 77 and 73. The Cubs still 5 games off of the pace of the Mets, but like we said, anything is possible. All you have to do is continue to win ball games. How do you do it? By scoring runs. We're going Powering Chicago Power Play, presented by Powering Chicago. And Joe, the Cubs, they were like a well-oiled machine today with ducks on the pond. 7 for 11.
Yeah, Isaac Paredes was hot in the last road trip, and it just continued. He had a multi-hit game. And the Cubs, a lot of dink and doinks, a lot of singles, but they drove in runs. They were 7 for 11 with runners in scoring position, and that's how you put up big numbers. And then you get the big hit out of Dansby Swanson, a 3-run homer, but he ended up with his 4th RBI there. And the Cubs, 9-2, a really nice victory.
Serious production. The only problem is the guy that you picked to get a hit, Joe, Michael Busch. I mean, National League Player of the Week. When you can come off of that, it's all right to have an 0 for 4 kind of day. Ian Happ, right off the top, a 1 for 5, setting the table. That is what you want to see. And just pure production from top to bottom, always a fan favorite. Just like Isaac Paredes, a multi-hit game. Oh, beautiful night in the batter's box for Isaac Paredes. Freddie Q,
he loves
the benefits of that as well. Always good to see Freddie smiling from ear to ear, but even better to see Isaac and the game slowing down. We've seen a whole lot of production from him lately. 3 hits tonight, one of 7 Cubs with a multi-hit game. That's called production, Joe.
Yeah, 10 for 22 last week, and he starts off this week.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's really good with 3 hits tonight. And they need him. Again, they have to score a lot of runs, especially home this week, to try to win 6 out of 7, to really put pressure on the Mets and the Braves. Because the Mets and the Braves are going to hook up, and the Mets have a little series with Phillies coming up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 games, 4 tough games.
Joe, you're an engineering major. I know that by trade, and you like numbers, don't you?
I love them.
Okay, 18 hits tonight.
That'll work.
Also, 18th quality start from Shota Imanaga, the 5th straight quality start, and that's going to lead us to our BL Auto Group breakdown presented by the Bob Lucurcio Auto Group, because old Shota Imanaga, he was throwing it through a peephole tonight, wasn't he? 11 punch-outs?
Yeah, a career-high 11 punch-outs. He had 10 against Arizona and 10 against Minnesota, and he had a really good splitter tonight. He had 6 strikeouts on his splitter. You're going to see the bottom drop out of these, but what it does is it also sets up his 4-seamer down. We talk about carry up, but a lot of times it'll set it down, and there's a split to a lefty, which I love. But there's that 4-seamer down. You think it's going to be the split down below the zone, and I'm going to go up on you as well, and then I'm going to go down with another split. His stuff was really good tonight. And what I also liked he did tonight, he threw some sinkers in on lefties that gave them troubles and got him ahead. But his splitter was outstanding. His breaking ball was really good. And you know, he gave up a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning to Brent Rooker, and I thought he struck out.
Rooker's going to clip a whole lot of people.
Well, he's got 38. I thought he struck out Wilson before that, but he ended up walking and gave up a 2-run homer. But Shota has been so good. 22-6 in his starts.
Look at the company that's kept right here. Sut and Jake, they both brought home some hardware that season. Not necessarily saying that Shota Imanaga is going to be the 2024 NL Cy Young Award winner, but he's certainly throwing his hat in the ring for consideration, and you saw some of the pitches that he was able to throw. And when he gets that swing and miss, how much deception is involved? If he's throwing a fastball that's low in the zone, he has to throw a splitter or a change piece to get someone to bite, doesn't he?
Well, he gets that deception with his four-seamer up because he's kind of a drop and drive. You're going to see him sit on his back leg, and he kind of pushes it up. And hitters perceive that it's going to drop more than it does, and they swing under it. And then that sets up his split down in the zone because it starts, you know, maybe thigh high and ends up ankle high. I mean, it's just a really tough combination. He pitches up and down really well, and for teams that have never seen him, it's really difficult. And the A's are a team that strikes out, right? They're a fly ball hitting team against the fly ball pitcher. It's not a good mix. You want to have opposites because opposites attract, and it draws the swing path for a team that hits a lot of ground balls off a fly ball pitcher is going to help, but not tonight. He was brilliant again, and they're going to need that because he's probably.
Well, we did a nice job against a pitcher who's been throwing the ball really well, and just jumped on him and got some balls to fall. I thought Pete's bunt was, you know, kind of set up a big inning, and then got a big swing from Dansby.
With the swing and miss for Shota tonight, what did you see from him?
Yeah, it was a little different kind of than we've seen. It's an aggressive team. You know, he probably threw more split fingers tonight than normal. And that pitch was super effective. They were aggressive. You know, we thought they were going to be aggressive to the fastball, and so the split turned out to be a really good pitch tonight.
You were talking before the game about how the other great players are constantly adjusting. Have you seen Shota have to go through adjustments during the course of the season? He's been obviously remarkably consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, the stuff that he's good at hasn't changed, and that's, you know, that stuff works, and you don't. You know, the changes are, I think, more subtle. It's a night like tonight where you go to your split finger a little more than the fastball, and that's just like a very subtle change to keep them off balance a little bit.
How big are the plays the last couple of months here by your defense and making Swanson making impossible plays look easy?
Well, you know, sometimes you can't really notice it, but whether it's we got our bullpen a night off tonight, or you know, our main guys a night off, and you know, I think Dansby obviously made a play in the eighth to help that, and that matters. You know, we got Sean up one inning, Armstrong, and other than that, everybody else got the night off, and that's significant. We've played a bunch of close games the last, you know, 6 for sure, and so getting them a night off was big. And I think defense, you know, gets you an out, lowers pitches for your pitcher, and so there's a kind of unseen. Those are the unseen benefits of it.
Career high for K's in a game, most wins in a single season. Is it getting to a point where it's a surprise there are still things for Shota to accomplish this year?
Well, I mean, he's a rookie, so there's you know, that's the nature of it, I think. And he's really talented and good, and so there's I hope there's other things he's got left to accomplish. But he's having there's no question he's having a heck of a season, and he's been a heck of a pitcher for us.
We're going to continue to talk about that man and everything that we saw put forth tonight. 2 earned or fewer in 19 of 28 outings. He's going to lean into the numbers. That and more. It's next. And we're also going to show you some moving pictures on the street.
そうですね。まあ、大学の成績見てもホームランも多く打ってる選手もいますし、内容のすごい、まあ、登板前のデータを調べてもすごいいい打撃をしている選手がたくさんいたので、まあ、なんとか試合の中でうまく相手の対策を感じ取っていけたかなと思います。
Yeah, so before the game, looking at the numbers, there's a lot of guys who hit a lot of home runs, and looking at their offense, they're a good hitting team. So I think I had a game plan going in, and then kind of saw what the other hitters were doing, and then made adjustments towards that.
When you started the year, were there any doubts in your mind that you would be the same quality pitcher you are here that you were in Japan?
まあそのシーズン始まる前に、まあ、日本でいるピッチャーで、まあ、こっちに来て調整してメジャーでいるピッチャーで、まあ、クオリティが保てるっていう、まあ、不安とかありましたか？
そうですね、まあ、まずは、まあ、この まず162イニング投げるっていう、ところも目標にしてやっていきましたし、とにかく怪我に気をつけて、ピッチクロックとか、マウンドとか、ボールとか、全て初めてのことだったんですけども、うまく、怪我も未然に防ぎながらで、カウンセル監督とピッチングコーチの、本当に素晴らしい、僕への声かけと素晴らしい起用法で、うまくここまで来れてるかなと思います。
So starting the year, I had the goal to throw 162 innings, and everything was a first with the ball being different, the mound, the pitch clock. So the goal also was to stay healthy, and I feel like I was able to do that thanks to Craig, thanks to the pitching coaches, just communication with them, and everything that goes within that. And so I think, that helps.
When you think about what you've been able to accomplish this season, where does that rank? Being this late in September, still going 6 innings, approaching 100 pitches in the start.
So you mean like today's start?
Yeah, and just generally like being healthy and still able to do that at this point in the season.
シーズンの今この段階で、健康で6回投げ切るっていうのは、今話したように162イニング投げる怪我なくっていうので、どこら辺にランキングで入りますか？
ランキング
その怪我なくここまで投げ切れたっていう。
カウンセル監督からは、スプリングトレーニングの段階から9月にどういう状態であるかっていうのが一番大事だっていうふうに言われてきたので、4月もから始まりましたけど、オールスターブレイクも明けて、ここまで順調に来てるのは、先ほども言いましたけど、カウンセル監督の、素晴らしい僕に対しての僕をうまくコントロールしてくれてるなっていうのを感じます。
So back in April, or even before, in spring training, I talked with Craig about how the importance of being able to pitch, throughout the season into September. And so I think with him, he's been very helpful in how he manages with, me staying healthy, being able to throw the innings that, I can. So very thankful for him.
The Cubs fans are very thankful for Shota Imanaga because if those numbers were a starter jacket, Charlotte Hornets, pullover, teal, all the way. 170 punch-outs for a rookie pitcher in one season since 1920. Trailing only Kerry Wood, Sam Jones, and Ken Holtzman. Joe, that's when you know you've done something pretty serious. And Shota Imanaga, just 2 earned runs or fewer in 19 of 28 starts. I know he's not your prototypical rookie, but his first time in Major League Baseball, he's been putting up some serious numbers.
Yeah, really big numbers. And like I said, the Cubs are 22-6 in his starts. Without him, where would they be? And I think that's why you have to consider him in the Cy Young voting. It's been with the four-seamer and his split, and now all of a sudden he started to add other pitchers. His sinker to lefties, his cutter. He's got the slow curveball. He's got the changeup, and I think he's starting to feel really comfortable with the schedule and being in America and pitching, and he has been outstanding.
Yeah, win, lose, or draw. He goes out there. Whenever the pill is given to him, he just takes it and does his job, and no complaints. Would you agree with that?
Oh, there's no complaints. And the biggest thing is that we hold each other accountable.
Oh, is that so?
We're a team here. So
absolutely.
I've made this card for Cole. We have the complaint card, right? So that's that way. And today I added pat myself on the back card, right? Because in between innings, he does that a little bit. So he has not complained once today.
Not once. No complaints, Joe.
But he has patted himself on the back twice.
But you also said that we have
I want you to keep me accountable.
Very similar baseball opinions. So
yes, we do.
I have to pat myself on the back.
keep them to myself.
Like I said, Barry Horowitz style. So Joe with the complaint card, apparently 0 so far. But I'm in the deficit when it comes to patting myself on the back. But I'm going to pat the Cubs on the back for this win today. A 7-run victory. Shota Imanaga's 18th quality start of the season and 18 knocks. Yeah. Joe, you can pat yourself on the back for that quality penmanship. Is that neat or is it?
It's neat. Yours is fancy. Mine is neat.
Fancy versus neat writing. All right. Well, my writing.
That sweeper that he throws doesn't really have a lot of depth to it, and Dansby jumped all over it and hit it in the basket. I mean, think about the Cubs. They scored 6 runs amongst their first 11 hitters in the game. I mean, they had it like that. 5 guys other than Dansby scored, so The Cubs offense was really productive, and Dansby had the big blow with that 3-run homer.
Absolutely. We already know that Dansby Swanson has tons of pop, but the glove, that speaks for itself, doesn't it?
You know what? That's neat and fancy.
It
right?
is. It is.
I mean, he made another outstanding play tonight, and he's just so smooth, and he gets up so quick, and he's so accurate with an arm. And it takes Michael Bush to pick it, but he trusts him and no, just get it in the air, and I'm going to get a chance to get him out. And just an outstanding play on both sides. And Dansby Swanson has been so good. He started off a little slow defensively, and we were like, what is going on? But he has been brilliant.
Buttoned it right up.
Once again.
Yeah, had that sore knee.
A really good chance for another Gold Glove.
Yeah, that would be his third. And Dansby Swanson, not only did he get it done with the leather tonight, he got it done with the wood. So here he is on tonight's offensive explosion. It's laid out there, but the A's, they may be ready to pounce because his stuff not necessarily as crisp as Shota's.
Yeah, but I think it shows you where their weaknesses are.
Okay.
And you can try to exploit them. I think it tells you pitch around Rooker. Do not let him beat you.
He will beat you.
Because he's the guy that is the real danger in their lineup. So that's what he needs to do tomorrow.
And he's having that Hall of Fame season above 300.
今回の動画はいかがでしたか？ぜひご意見ご感想をコメント欄までお願いいたします。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーの最新情報など海外の番組の翻訳をお届けしています。面白いと思っていただけましたら、よかったら高評価とチャンネル登録をお願いします。どんな情報をお届けしたら喜んでいただけるか、ぜひお聞かせください。それではまた次回の動画でお会いいたしましょう。